All right, gang. When I was in elementary school, I had a school bus driver until he retired. And then the next school bus driver took over, and they were both farmers. And both of them were good men. Both of them was just respected in the community. They never forgot any kid's name that rode their school bus. Now, this school bus, it was number 17 when we were kids, and it was a Dodge. This resembles a Ford. But the last day of school, the first school bus driver, he would allow us, once we pulled off a school property, to have paper ball fight, squirt gun fight, and he would stop at a dry goods store that was still in operation back in the 70s. And, you know, and it was an actual dry goods store. It had, you know, gas pumps, it had a meat department, it had clothing, it had everything that a farmer would need. Oil, a place outside that they could lift cars up and trucks up to change oil. They had fan belts, you know, simple stuff to keep cars going. And we'd stop at that place on the last day of school. It was always a blast. And that tradition began with that school bus driver and continued with the second school bus driver. And this bus came from the estate of the second school bus driver. They had this massive house, and all their kids grew up, went away, moved away, and the house was sitting empty for a while, and somebody broke into it or something. I'm not 100% sure of that story, but you can see where one of the doors were kicked in. So he ends up, the family ends up deciding, well, we're just going to have a yard sale and just get rid of everything and either rent the house out temporarily or just sell the property. And it's a lot of property. So I get there, and all the stuff that I was looking for was pretty much gone. I go to the room where the school bus driver, the second school bus driver, spent the remaining time of his life in. It was on the ground floor, and he had a school bus collection, but all of them were gone except this one. And it was so dusty. And his daughter, who was a couple years older than me, was telling me, yeah, someone gave him that on his retirement or shortly after there. And it pretty much sat on the shelf with all the other school buses. So I bought it. I bought it because of the school bus driver. Great man. Like I said, he remembered everybody's name that rode his school bus. He hired us during the summertime and used us like borrowed mules on the farm, but he paid us. And that's when mostly boys wasn't scared to go get a summertime job to make a few bucks. And those days are gone. Anyway, let's check this out. It's American Plastic school bus. Here's the front, and this is why I'm calling it a Ford. It looks just like a Ford. Grill decal and the school bus decal is still on the front. The school bus decal is still on the curbside, and the door is super tight and it still functions. Now this thing is still a lot of dust in it, but I just ran it up under the faucet. But you see, I don't know if it's gonna come up, but on the steps, there's still dust on it. Now, his daughter told me that, you know, the grandkids, he let them play with it, and that's why I figured the decal on the back is gone. I don't know what the decals are supposed to be. I'm sure that this is something related to a school bus, but that one might be like a price tag or something. But there's the back. Roadside. And let's see, got it upside down. There you go. Got the American Plastic, which used to be Gay Toys, and all the address. Oh, there you go. And you see it's got minimal wear on it. So this is, I bought it. I didn't buy it because I wanted it, and I have a fondness for the old plastic toys that you got from like Woolworths. Because if you've seen any of my other videos, you see that I have a lot of old plastic toys, because it was something that I grew up with and really enjoyed. I bought this because it represents two great men that was in my life. They're both gone, and this is something that when I look at it, I'll remember both those school bus drivers. And the stories I could tell about these two guys, they were great guys, and they helped everybody. You know, they were farmers, They're part of their community and they help their neighbors. Something that people don't do nowadays. Anyway, that's the video on this short school bus. Thanks for viewing, gang.